Hey Jess. So, I set it to where you record my screen and I'm also down in the corner. So once you have downloaded the screen Castify, once you go to their website, it will always be up here in your little browser. And if you click on that before you start your video, the little box will pop up and it will come up as the picture that I sent you, and there will be three options that you can choose. I always put my little picture down here at the bottom just so I can see so they can see me and I could see what I look like when I'm talking. Um, but then for my Google Classroom, what we did before we left school was we had the kids add each of their subjects. So I have um, all of my kids in science. They all have their social studies. These three up here are my grade partners. She just added me in them because our kids switch classes. And then I have my science class, my math class, and then in room 11 is where I have anything that I give my homeroom. Um, I do my reading, my writing, and my grammar assignments all in there. So when I go into my classroom, which it's the basic, you have your stream if you post like a little message. But whenever I go to post an assignment, I always go to classwork and then create. I always click assignment because I just have never really looked at those ones. And then if if it's already created, you just hit add and you go find it in your Google Drive. If you are creating it, then it brings you to a new document and you kind of do it that way. I'm just going to pick a random assignment. So my kids had to do a poem. Normally I'll give them just a blank document and then it will pop up here, but you said you knew how to do this. It's always key to make a copy for each student. I learned that once you post the assignment, if you go back to edit it, making a copy for each student is no longer an option. So you have to click, if you want each kid to get a copy, you have to click that before you even post anything. And then if I were to go to my class, what I do for every day, I have a Google Hangout from 9 to 10 where they can just come in, ask any questions about their assignments. Today, like I had a girl come in, I shared her screen and we worked on her poem together. And then I broke my class up into two groups for small groups that I do from 9 to 10 because on Google Hangout and Zoom, it can get really loud if there's a lot of them in there. So I put them in two smaller groups. So that way they know, like, reading group this day, you have to come on and here's the link for it. Same thing, math group. Here's your link. This down here was just like an extra little fun activity. I had them doing a Lego challenge. And then I always have them sign in with their attendance. That's posted every morning. And then you see I have their three assignments. They have their religion assignment, their writing, and their ELA. And then they just click on that and all the directions will come up with anything attached. Sometimes I have them comment things. Sometimes they just have their normal conversations. And then this is where I use a lot of the Google Forms. So instead of a worksheet, if I just have like a comprehension questions they need to ask, I just put it in a Google Form and they just answer each question. When you're working with a Google Form, always have the first question their name. Ask them to type their name because Google Forms don't tell you who submitted it unless there is a name. So if I click on this, you see first one is their name. And then I always do short answer or a paragraph answer. That way they can type their answer however they want to. And then I always, when I'm making it, always make it required. That way they can't submit it until all questions are fully answered. If I go to my Google Forms, I'll just pull up a random one to show how you can make them required. Oh. So I'm going to send you another video because this one's kicking me out in 17 seconds.